Yeah, but I mean, America's, like all that's fault, America's still a pretty awesome country too. Like there's good things and bad things, and I think unfortunately we're going through a pretty rough patch right now. Where we care more about our political beliefs than we do about the person in front of us, and that shouldn't be that way. Because at the end of the day, we have more in common than we don't, and that's the truth. And people don't believe that, and I think since you got the old man talking, I think the left in particular you're got a thing or two to learn about that.
We didn't think we'd run into a true blue American in a teeny little Japanese mountain village, but we did. You never know what you're going to see when we get off the main roads, especially in Japan. Welcome to Yudanaka. Hey everybody, Nick and Kim here.
Konnichiwa.
We're in Yudanaka, Japan. Now, you've never heard of Yudanaka. I've never heard of Yudanaka. A lot of people said, when you go to Japan, get out of Tokyo. You got to go see the real Japan. So we did. Yudanaka is a little teeny little mountain village up here at the base of the mountains in Nagano. It's a mountain town. We're going to spend a couple days up here and we're going to see how these people live. How do they do it? Why do they do it? All of that stuff. And Densha ga yate kuru. That means there goes the train, folks. Let's go. The Japanese Alps, one of Japan's most beautiful, rugged landscapes. Ooh, look at that. This area is home to dramatic mountain ranges and heavy winter snow. I'll get to that part. Japanese Alps aren't well known. I mean, who knew Japan has big mountain ranges, right? Well, they do. In fact, 70% of Japan's mountains. Bet you didn't know that. The whole area up here is anchored by the large city of Nagano, population 365,000. The whole region has 2 million people who live in the Nagano prefecture, or state. This is what Nagano looks like. Downtown Nagano. The architecture is not very impressive in Japan. I thought I was going to see lots of modern buildings. And about 10 a.m. It's very chilly. It's about 40 degrees. The little teeny mountain villages away from the heart of Nagano are way different. Here it's a very traditional, slower way of life. And that's where we went for a couple of days. In particular, we spent our time in the heart of the Japanese Alps, in the tiny mountain village of Yamanouchi, home to 12,000 people. This whole area is really just some quiet neighborhoods surrounded by forests and mountains. A lot of farming and skiing. In fact, the Winter Olympics were held here in 1998 in Nagano. You might remember. This part of Japan is also well known for snow monkeys and for the abundant hot springs. People come from all over the world for a quieter side of Japan where they can ski and get in touch with their spiritual sides. I'll show you all that. You know I will. To get to the mountains, you take a bullet train. And this particular line we took was built just to get people from Tokyo to Nagano for the Olympics. Here comes the fast bullet train that California wishes it could have. They never will. It goes 300 miles an hour. These things are fast, I tell ya. I had an app that I downloaded that showed speeds close to 160 mph. I've shown these bullet trains in other videos. They're called the Shinkansen. This line from Tokyo, it costs about $60. It takes about an hour and a half to go about 140 miles. A nice, clean ride. Yeah, this does feel like Barrow, Alaska, doesn't it? We got off and Kim's like, feels like we're in Barrow, Alaska with some little village in the middle of nowhere. All right, so it's very slippery. I knew it was going to be cold. Did not expect snow. That's the way it is when you get off the beaten pathway for YouTube. There's Kim wave. We're in Yudanaka. Welcome to Yudanaka. Nagano. This is where they have the Olympics. get a lot of snow up here. You probably didn't know that. I didn't know that. We were here in early February, and when we got there, they had just had another dumping. This part of Japan that we stayed in gets about 13 to 14 feet of snow a year, but in the highest elevations in these mountains, it's more like 40 feet of snow. It's crazy. Japan gets a lot of snow, people. So I had to look it up. I was like, why does Japan get so much snow up here? And apparently it's kind of like how Buffalo is set up, but instead of lake effect snow, it's the Sea of Japan effect. All this cold Siberian air, look at that awesome graphic, it blows across Russia and it picks up the moisture of the Sea of Japan and it slams all that snow into the sides of all the big rugged mountains up here. It's worse here than it is in the United States. Buffalo doesn't have big mountains to catch all the moisture. My God, that snowdrift is higher than the people. Everyone wants to know, where should I move, Nick? I want to go somewhere safe and affordable. So, I have published an ebook. That's right. Click the link in the description to get my comprehensive and always updated guide on the best places to move in each state. Search Nick's ebook in the description below to get your copy today. All right, so now that we got that part out of the way, let's see how the Japanese people live in their small rural mountain villages. All right, so if you were going to try to compare these Japanese mountain villages to a place back in the States, you kind of could say that they're kind of a combination of like Whitefish, Montana and Silverton, Colorado, but far less expensive and modern. But like our smaller little mountain resort towns, this part of Japan lives on the skiing industry and they've kept their traditions alive. It's a lot of older buildings, slower pace, much quieter life. But it is not as expensive or overrun with investors and second homeowners up here, mister. The houses up here, they're modest. A lot of them are aging. Looked it up. You could get something up here for 30 grand. Maybe if it's a nicer, bigger, newer home, maybe a couple $100,000. It's very safe, it's very clean, and just eeks old school Japan. So we are in Yudanaka. It's about 7:45 in the morning here. Nick is recovering from being majorly sick yesterday. Didn't think he'd even make it up here on the train. And it's a very pretty, very pretty day. They got about a couple inches of snow yesterday. It's the end of winter. That is normal. We actually got lucky. They could have got completely hammered. Looks like everyone's going to work. I don't know what they're doing. That's the convenience store. I'm in the way. This is what it looks like in a little mountain town. We're going to really get to know the area quite a bit here, coming up here in the next couple days. But this is kind of like the main intersection in downtown. Actually, it might not be. I don't know. I can't read the signs. I'm cold. So they've got some a lot of deterioration too, just like you have where you live. A lot of this stuff up here is just super old, and their population is going down big time, and so in a lot of the smaller villages away from the main cities, kids don't want to live here anymore. So a lot of this stuff's falling down. A lot of houses up here are free. They're giving away homes. A lot of them need work, but as these little towns, as they age out, well, the old folks pass away and the young people don't want to live here anymore, so a lot of this stuff's starting to fall apart up here. Just like where you live, just like where I live. And that is another building. I don't know if that's a house. It's made of bamboo or something. That is a car. A lot of cars that are very small compared to the cars where you live. There are a lot of people are into that stuff, cartoon stuff, whatever that is. This looks like this place has been shut down for a while. Oh wait, is it open? Door's open, but this is kind of an idea on like middle class. I think all this stuff's $225-ish or something like that. Not sure what's going on here, but that's a nice looking home, huh? Oh, here come the homeowners. They're probably like, why is this American dude filming our house? Damn it. How did Nick Johnson find our house? Damn it. Boy, are they behind on their transmission lines up here. So this is a little Japanese barbershop. It says cut and perma. And they even have the barber pole. Look at that. Oh. There's a record or something. All right, so this is a little Japanese little coffee shop. Looks very similar. Oh, there's a lady in there waving. Looks very similar to one where you live. In fact, it's even in English. That is very rare. Out here, and it is freaking cold. Oh, the post office. A little Japanese post office. We're gonna come back to the village in a little bit. We're gonna check out some other stuff. We did many things when we were here. Just about everybody comes up here for three things: skiing, hot springs, and the monkeys. I'm gonna start with the monkeys. Kim, where are we going?
We're heading to see the snow monkeys!
Oh, you're excited.
I'm very excited. They're adorable.
All right, you keep going. I'm gonna get a shot of you walking.
Okay.
We're going to see the snow monkeys. My feet were freezing, but for 1,000 yen, I got some boots. That's $6.50. Out here in the Japan Alps. It's very peaceful. That's what a Japan mountain tree looks like. This is what Japan snow looks like. This is what I look like. I'm very cold. There's a bunch of videos on the internet about the Japanese snow monkeys you can see. A lot of people make the trek up here only to see the monkeys. I mean, they're neat, but they're just monkeys. They come down to the hot springs in the winter to gather. It's not that big a deal. Okay, I guess it kind of is. This one doesn't like anyone else. Hey, monkey. Anyway, as you come up here, these monkeys come down from the mountainsides. It's like, I think Japan's the only place in the world that has these. And this is one of the few places in Japan. So this is a very rare opportunity to see the elusive snow monkey. And we got here about 9:30. And I guess, I mean, this looks like a lot of people. It gets super busy at noon, so you know. Oh my gosh, this one's coming right here. He's got some big balls. Little guy right there, he took a ski pole away from a hiker. We had to kind of lure him down to get the ski pole back. They say these little guys take cameras, hats, all sorts of stuff from tourists. Yay!
You're so welcome.
He just came up really and grabbed it?
Yeah.
Alright, I got enough monkey footage. Shiga Kogen, Japan is crazy, y'all. Imagine if you linked every ski resort in Colorado into one big giant mass of chairlifts and hotels and trails. Shiga Kogen has 80 lifts and some really deep snow. And it's not even the biggest Japanese ski resort. There's Kim right there. She took some time to snowboard. I was too sick. JK, I don't snowboard anymore. I can't get hurt. I'm working. It is very bright and sunny out here. Welcome to Shiga Kogen. This is Japan's #1 resort for skiing and snowboarding. Let me set the tone. There's a lot to catch up on. I haven't really talked a lot here. First of all, this is very beautiful up here. We're in the Japanese Alps. Super awesome. They've had a lot of snow before we got here. That snowdrift is higher than me. I don't think I've ever seen a snowdrift this high before, just to set the tone on how high the snowdrift is. I'm 6'5", and I'm not 6'5", but I'm not short, and that's a lot of snow. It is really, really pretty up here. It's about 39 degrees, really sunny. Over and out, going back down the hill, back to Yudanaka to try to find some food that I can actually eat, and maybe a nap.
一度にティースプーン 4,5 杯で意識を失う、そして命の危機になるということもあるんですね。
Japanese
で、皆さん
TV.
のコメントをご紹介していきます。40代女性のコメントで
This is their news.
塩を目分量で入れるなんて中学生ならやってしまいそう。
And here's the very zen experience up here. Ooh, that's our bed. It's supposed to be very Japanese with some little thin mattresses. It's supposed to be a futon style on a mat. Not sure how I feel about it, but one time is fine. And a big open space with like a little Japanese table with a little Japanese chairs. And that's pretty much it, folks. It's a very Japanese TV. And out the window, we've got the Shiga Kogen Resort, where all the famous Olympians in Nagano in 1998 did their thing. And cut.
Am I filming you? Okay.
This is how Japanese people have their sitting area. This is their chair. I feel like it. Ooh.
I think that's really
You have to push the table to get up.
that's what I've been waiting for.
There you go. That's how Japanese people eat. Thank you. What do you know? All the news. It's a Japanese hardware store. This shrine has been here since 1569. What? Oh my gosh. We're just kind of in the middle of this mountain town. And according to that sign that I translated, the religious people came up here to the hot springs and set up this shrine. And it's been here for almost 500 years. That's probably where they're laughing. He got highball? All right, so we stopped this cafe here. That's a highball. I didn't know what it was. Apparently it's whiskey. That's a giant whiskey drink.
Yeah, we should like give her tray back.
Kim got an Asahi, which is just, normal.
Because it's 1:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And it comes with edamame. Anyway, this is just an idea, but that is gonna probably knock me down.
Sure is.
I don't know.
That's not an afternoon drink.
I wasn't watching her make it, so I don't know how much whiskey.
You could smell it.
This is what people do in small mountain town Japanese villages. So inside of the little mini market here, you can buy whiskey, you can buy booze in like the little convenience stores. I don't know, maybe that where you're from, you can do that. In my state, you have to have a separate whole entire store to do that. Whiskey. Get fish at the little convenience store. This is kind of like their version of Circle K. So we'll just call it Circle K. You can get roasted pork, pig ears in the Circle K. Oh my gosh. And I'll tell you what, I know I'm not from here, but the food here is terrible from an American perspective. I mean, come on, really? Who buys this? I guess the Japanese love it. Chicken breast in the 7-Eleven Circle K. So I'm going to take just a second to talk a little bit about the healthy culture or not healthy culture here. So everybody knows Japanese people, they're like the healthiest people on the planet because of their diet and their exercise. But I got sick almost as soon as we got here, and I never, ever, ever get sick. I picked something up like the second day we were here in Tokyo, and it sucks traveling in Japan when you're sick. I was sick for 3 days, and to be honest, I was a little skeptical the first few days on this trip. I thought I had been food poisoned, and we kind of noticed that Japanese restaurants are supposed to be healthy, but there's no posted health inspection reports like we have. And to be honest, a lot of places you go into, they don't believe in soap, especially in the mountains. You go up here, it's cold, drippy water and no soap. We're at the train station, another sink, no soap, no warm water. How do they do it? Why do they do it? And some of them will have a little bar of soap, which is just gross. They need more soap here, damn it. And the trains are jam-packed. I mean, they're way cleaner than ours, don't get me wrong. But when everyone holds on to everything, who knows what you're touching? When we first got here, I was scoffing at everybody wearing masks. I was like, COVID's over, people. But after a couple of days in Japan and being on the trains and up against everybody, I was like, these people are smart. It is way too crowded in Japan to not get other people's breath on you all the time. Now, the food and entertainment part up here, it's not really a thing. There aren't any amazing sushi chefs up here or robot bartenders or anything. But nobody comes up to these quiet Japanese villages for technology and stimulation. Come on now. They come to find their chi and their ki and their ikigai. You're supposed to come up here and meditate and take in nature, damn it. The Coke machine plays a song. And for lunch, we're gonna eat here. I don't know what it's called, but they have, oh shit, I just about ate it. They've got food. They don't like film me as much, but I'm going to.
Well, do you want to sit at the bar or you want to sit at a table?
This is what it looks like inside of a traditional Japanese restaurant. Bamboo floor. Take your shoes off, of course. So they have their own beer. IPA. So ramen, that's about $5 for the first one. All that stuff's $5 to $8.
Yeah?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like we haven't really eaten a lot.
Oh, splasher.
I know.
We got udon.
Pork udon.
Pork udon for Kim. Nick's trying to eat, but Nick hasn't had an appetite. Chicken
And rice.
Bowl of rice. And whatever that is. But after 5 days in Japan and 3 days in the mountains, we were craving a little bit of home, though. I'm not gonna lie, and so were other people that we met. And we have food trucks here where you can get hamburgers. What? Oh my God! Should we come get a burger? I might come back and get a hamburger later. They have hamburgers. I have not seen that yet. Wagyu cheeseburger. That's about $20. Kind of a lot. And then shots of whiskey. That's about $15. We ate several burgers when we were in this village mountain area and didn't even feel guilty about it. We'd had enough tofu ramen. And to our surprise, we found a teeny little American-style restaurant tucked into these hillsides, a place called Archie's. This is a place called Archie's, that's what that says. And it is supposedly gonna feel like a little slice of home, just for one night. We'll get back to the Japanese stuff tomorrow night. But oh God, yes, that looks like home. That looks like Wisconsin to me. Oh, we're in the right place. Oh my God, I needed a little bit of home.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can sit anywhere you like.
Oh, foosball. Oh, they speak English and it doesn't smell like fish. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Why am I always in the food shots?
Because I'm a camera guy.
No, I'm camera girl.
You can show me too.
You always have me eating.
Take your shot. Ooh. Oh my God. And we got cowboy shit. It was just nice to feel a little bit of home again, just for one night. Love the place.
Thank you.
It was inspired, I'm guessing, because Americans needed a place to feel like they were at home.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. It was inspired by a few things, but one being the passion of cooking, but and of course there was like a severe shortage kind of anyway of like Western food around here.
Yeah.
So I thought, maybe it best to see if I could give it a go.
So you're from Minnesota.
I am.
You moved here 22 years ago?
Yes.
What inspired you to come to the mountains of Japan from Minnesota?
Well, it's a long story. We typically need lots of beers for it.
Okay.
But basically, I needed to get out of Minnesota, and I'd always had a passion for, I always had an interest for Japan. And basically what I ended up doing was going to university out here. And when I went to university about 6 months before I graduated, I got a job working in the ski and snowboard industry. I mean, action sports, so skate, surfs, ski, snow, whatever. And I did that for 16 years. And then I recently just did like 2 seasons ago, like almost 2.5 seasons ago, I just did this. And so here we are.
We're halfway across the world. What are some things that you have been like, things that most people, that you've picked up on that are more subtle?
It is cliche because it used to be understood very well, but not so much, and I'm not trying to sound old, but I am, is it used to be understood by the older generations, and I guess that's me, I'm older, is that Japan just has a very good way of teaching its youth to think about not just yourself, but more so your others around you. And Japan's really good at that, and they're really good at getting people to think about, you know what I mean? Like they think about the group before they think about themselves. Now there's always pluses and minuses to things like that, but I feel like Japan is still very good at that, and that really makes for, on a day-to-day level, that makes for a pretty comfortable place to live. And I think that's something that goes unnoticed and untalked about a lot, personally. It's very simple, it's not something new, but I think it's something that needs to be highlighted, I think.
And so safety is very safe. It's very clean.
It's very clean.
Their healthcare system is better than ours. I hear
yeah,
that.
But I mean, America's, like all its fault, America's still a pretty awesome country too. Like there's good things and bad things, and I think unfortunately we're going through a pretty rough patch right now. Where we care more about our political beliefs than we do about the person in front of us, and that shouldn't be that way. Because at the end of the day, we have more in common than we don't. And that's the truth. And people don't believe that. And I think since you got the old man talking, I think the left in particular you got a thing or two to learn about that. And it's not just about what you think you're seeing and the right too. But, this whole it's a word I'm thinking about, this whole wanting to censor things, let the bad people talk too. Because we as a group can identify that. And we can say, you know what, I may be conservative or I may be liberal, but that guy doesn't speak for me, and I don't believe that. And you make life dangerous, you make life hard when you try to censor people. We don't like to think that, but you just got to let them speak. We're smart enough as a collective group, as Americans, to make that better choice. And I believe in that, and I know that. I don't even necessarily believe it, I know it. There's bad parts about Japanese culture too, but,
What would those be?
Well, I think in particular about certain aspects about women's rights and kind of the awful side of things that can happen to people being taken advantage of, sort of physically, if you know where I'm going with that. They don't tend to take those things very seriously at all here. In fact, they don't. So it's, in that regard, it's unfortunate,
How has Japan changed since you've been here?
Well, now that I got the old man thing, there's a lot more foreigners. When I first got here 21, 22 years ago, we were for sure the minority. We were probably less than 0.5% at that time. Now we're close to about 1%.
Okay.
So,
why are so many foreigners moving here?
real estate is so cheap. The snowboarding and skiing, you know what I mean? All that stuff. So,
Yeah.
I think, you guys are good. You got it?
6 and 7.
Yeah, 6 and 7. Yep. Yeah, yep.
Real estate shit. How much does it cost? Yeah, per rent, like a house. What is that?
You can get a house here as cheap as $5,000.
And of course, the onsens. Now, onsens are traditional Japanese public bathhouses. Basically a place to soak in natural hot springs. The tradition goes back 1,000 years. People say the onsen water can cleanse and heal you. You're supposed to sit in the onsen water and relax and connect with nature and find your spiritual side and all that. It's supposed to be a religious soaking experience or whatever. They're not just hot tubs, people. Of course, there's rules. Now, I did the onsen one night. Can't show it to you because you're not supposed to take a phone in for obvious reasons. But you get completely naked and you walk around a bathhouse and you soak in all these various hot springs pools. Not gonna lie, it was kind of uncomfortable at first, but it became kind of liberating to walk around a bunch of other naked men.
Hey Nick, you should open up a chain. Johnson's Onsens.
Well, it was a religious experience for me, Mappy. Those onsens changed me.
I don't need a bunch of dudes looking at my dinghy.
You have a dinghy?
Mappy dinghy small, like mine. We cool like that. Speak for yourself, dude. Do we have to have Mappy-san on every episode?
Mappy, he's part of this show when we're here. You're just gonna have to accept that. He knows a lot about the Japanese culture. He can help us with perspective.
Did you know Japanese school don't have janitor? Kids clean schools themselves. Teaches responsibility and discipline.
See?
That's good.
A Japanese mountain sunrise. All right, folks, that is it from the Japanese mountainsides. Behind me is the famous Japanese mountain. I don't know what that is, just another hillside. It's very beautiful, it's very cold. You can probably see my breath, it's about 18 degrees up here. We're at the bus station. We're about to head on out to our next stop in Osaka. But from Yudanaka, Yamanochi, Nagano, it's been a great time. Everybody needs to get out of the Tokyo and get up into the Japanese hillsides at least once if you come here. Come see the smaller cities with the little cars driving around and the little people, snow-covered, everything with the slower pace of life. The people are much nicer. The food is much worse up here. I don't know how they do it. Don't have expectations on having a good meal up here in the Japanese hillsides, but it's fun to come up here and kind of see how things used to be. A lot of old stuff. Things used to be here back in the old 1500s, and religion and prayer and bad food. That's it. We're getting on the bus, getting on the train, heading over to Osaka next. And I had a Japanese phrase that I was going to say to end this, and I can't remember what it was. We'll just say, arigato gozaimasu. Okay, so we're now the most traveled channel in America. We've seen so many places and continue to get into the rest of America. If you're looking to move and you want help with the real estate agent or need ideas on where you can move, email me or click the link in the description. My video call consulting program might be perfect for you. I also have a new ebook. It's a comprehensive guide on the best and sometimes worst parts of the country that you can move to. We update that book all the time as we travel. The details for the consulting program and the ebook are in the description below. If you want Mappy merch, like t-shirts, stickers, and mugs, there's a link to my store in the description, or just click store at the top of the channel. You should think about joining as a channel member. Click the link in the description or click on membership at the top of the page, or just scan this QR code on your screen. As a member, you'll get to see all the excerpts, Mappy bloopers, and uncensored content. There's even stuff I did back in college on there. I also do cameos. I can send your birthday wishes or hellos or whatever you want in a video message straight to your inbox. The link to my Cameo page is in the description. And finally, we have another channel that you should subscribe to. It's called Interviews Across America, where I upload all the uncut, complete interviews with real Americans from all walks of life. The link for that channel is in the description too, or just search for Interviews Across America. That's it. Thanks for watching.